Dear astronomy enthusiasts, especially those who hold faith in the existence of extraterrestrial intelligence, prepare to be astonished by the latest news about 3I Atlas. By the end of October 2025, barely 4 months since it first entered our awareness, this interstellar visitor has already displayed 10 extraordinary anomalies, unlike any comets observed, according to the Harvard professor Avi Loeb. Every anomaly tells a story, and when placed together, they form a pattern that challenges everything we thought we knew about interstellar visitors. Let's begin to uncover the truth anomaly by anomaly and see how deep this mystery really goes. Firstly, 3I Atlas is an interstellar object emerging from the southern region of the Milky Way, likely from Sagittarius, and the galaxy's thick disk a rare origin already. This is already quite a rare case, but it's not even the strangest point I wish to highlight. Well, the first and most remarkable anomaly in Atlas's trajectory is that its orbital plane is tilted by only about 5 degrees from the ecliptic, meaning it lies almost perfectly along the same path the planets follow. But moving the other way, like a car speeding in the wrong direction on a cosmic highway. Both retrograde and perfectly aligned with the ecliptic are truly extraordinary. Professor Avi Loeb estimates its probability at just 0.2%, meaning that among 500 observed interstellar events, only one could be random rather than driven by some underlying mechanism or intent. Compared with its predecessors, Oumuamua and Borisov entered from the north with inclinations of 123 and 44 degrees, respectively, following the planet's general motion. Atlas, however, threads the solar system's plane backwards with eerie precision, as if its trajectory were engineered not accidental. A silent emissary gliding in reverse, tracing a line too perfect to be a coincidence. Does the first phenomenon impress you yet? Share your feelings in the comments below. If not, stay calm and keep listening. The second anomaly is coming up next. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your support is the greatest encouragement that keeps us going forever. Okay, next. If 3I Atlas truly followed such a precise solar plane path, its orbit should have been easily disturbed by the sun's or planet's gravity, or even led to a collision. Yet somehow it traveled with remarkable stability. Its timing seemed almost perfectly calibrated entering the solar system, just as Mars, Venus, and Jupiter aligned near its path. At perihelion, it was hidden directly behind the Sun, invisible from Earth. This is the second mystery. The odds of this perfect synchronization are only 0.005%, 1 in 20,000. Let me show you the specific figures. Calculations show that on October 3rd, 2025, Atlas passed 29 million kilometers from Mars. On November 3rd, Atlas passed 97 million kilometers from Venus. And on March 16th, 2026, just 54 million kilometers from Jupiter. For 3 planets with vastly different orbital periods, Venus is 225 days, Mars is 687 days, Jupiter is 11.86 years. This alignment borders on impossible. Yes, if this were random, it would be almost impossible. But if some unseen intelligence had programmed both the timing and trajectory in advance, everything suddenly fits. It's as if a mind, perhaps one that resides far beyond our galactic neighborhoods, had devised an extraordinary algorithm of precision, allowing its creation to approach the solar system without disturbing it, and without allowing humankind to uncover the true secret behind its design. Now, we arrive at the third anomaly, the appearance of an anti-tail jet. The term anti itself signals how extraordinary it is. We are familiar with the image of comets, ice and dust, sublimating under sunlight, forming gas and dust tails that are blown away from the sun by the solar wind, regardless of the comet's direction of travel. In some cases, a sunward tail is merely a geometric illusion, When Earth crosses the comet's orbital plane, the viewing angle makes the tail seem to point toward the Sun, though it still extends outward. However, at 3I Atlas, this was no illusion of perspective. Between July and August 2025, Hubble, the Very Large Telescope, and Gemini North confirmed a stable sunward plasma jet, 30,500 kilometers long, perfectly aligned with the solar vector. Such behavior violates the known laws of cometary physics. If natural, it defies explanation. If artificial, the jet could represent a form of plasma or ion propulsion similar to NASA's magnetic sail concept for interstellar travel. It may be a far more plausible explanation for such precision and defiance of nature. The fourth part of our exploration concerns the immense size of this interstellar object, which continuously sets it apart from any previously observed interstellar object. The core mass of 3I Atlas is estimated to be about 1 million times greater than Oumuamua and 1,000 times heavier than Borisov. According to Professor Loeb's research team, its nucleus measures over 5 kilometers in diameter, roughly equivalent to the size of Manhattan, and weighs at least 33 billion tons. Such a colossal body, drifting through space, stretches the limits of our intuition as if we are speaking of a flying city rather than a comet. To put it in perspective, its size rivals that of the Chicxulub asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. A collision with Earth would release tens of millions of megatons of energy, an unthinkable catastrophe. Yet despite its enormous mass, it travels twice as fast, 61 kilometers per second, compared to Oumuamua's is 26 and Borisov's 32. The odds of such a massive high-speed natural object are below 0.1%. Scientists, therefore, are still debating whether this behavior results from unusual outgassing or points to a far more powerful mechanism, potentially an extraterrestrial energy source beyond our current understanding of physics. The fifth anomaly may be the most engineered, yet its unnatural chemical makeup, as reported by leading scientists from the European Southern Observatory and the University of Liège in Belgium. To highlight its strangeness, let's compare it with Borisov, a typical natural interstellar comet. First, it revealed that 3I Atlas contained nickel without iron. Spectral analyses from the Very Large Telescope published on August 25, 2025 showed clear nickel emission lines, but no trace of iron. In nature, nickel and iron are inseparable twin elements found together in cosmic materials. They are only known to appear separately through human metallurgical processes. In Borisov, the nickel to iron ratio is roughly 1:1, similar to solar system comets. In Atlas, it differs by tens to hundreds of times. This suggests a refined processed material rather than a raw cosmic fragment. Even more striking, the nickel to cyanide ratio is also incomprehensible 0.1 in Atlas versus 0.0001 in Borisov. Cyanide is a common gas in comets, so the high nickel to cyanide ratio is scientifically unfounded. The chance of both anomalies occurring naturally is under 1%. A body that gleams like stainless steel drifting through space hints not at geology, but technology from an extraterrestrial intelligence. The sixth mystery concerns the remarkably low amount of water, the very substance that defines ordinary comets. According to data from the James Webb Space Telescope Spherex Observatory and the Very Large Telescope between August and September 2025, scientists found that the gas cloud surrounding 3I Atlas, extending over 350,000 kilometers, consists of 87% carbon dioxide, 9% carbon monoxide, and only 4% water, a carbon dioxide to water ratio of 8:1, entirely unnatural for a typical icy comet. A comet whose vapor is mostly carbon dioxide instead of water is like a machine exhaling exhaust rather than air. If an advanced civilization sought to build a self-preserving probe resistant to sublimation and thermal erosion, a carbon dioxide-based matrix would make perfect sense. 3I Atlas seems like a designed interstellar probe operating on the principle that chemistry is computation and matter itself is memory. So we've now completed 1/3 of our journey. Today, let's continue with the next part. In September 2025, based on polarimetry studies by Dr. Zane Grey and Professor Stefano Bagnulo, two of the world's leading experts in astronomical polarimetry, Professor Avi Loeb identified the seventh anomaly of 3I Atlas, its unusual light reflection. The object showed 2.77% negative polarization at a 6.41 degree phase angle and a low inversion angle of 17.05 degrees, indicating its light twisted backwards as if reflected from metal rather than ice or dust. Unlike natural comets that scatter light softly, 3I Atlas, on the other hand, manipulates light with precision, its polarization curve resembling that of refined metal surfaces. It appears cloaked in a reflective shell, engineered to absorb, redirect and mask any incoming radiation. Like a drifting mirror machine, it glides through the solar system, disguised as a comet, reflecting not truth, but the image we're ready to believe. The mysteries of 3I Atlas go beyond its appearance, they reach into sound. The eighth mystery lies in its arrival direction, which aligns strikingly with the WOW signal detected by the Big Ear Observatory in 1977, differing by only 9 degrees. Statistically, the chance of such alignment occurring randomly is just 0.6%. Isn't that fascinating? What if the WOW signal wasn't a burst of cosmic noise, but a first whisper from beyond? With such a tiny probability, pure coincidence seems unlikely. This discovery has reignited questions about the possibility of true interstellar communication. Nearly 50 years have passed since that mysterious signal was heard, and though it has never repeated, we cannot be certain it was missed. The idea that 3I Atlas might have been the source or reply to that extraordinary message remains a chilling yet compelling hypothesis. The ninth anomaly uncovers a puzzling shift in both the brightness and hue of the third interstellar visitor as it draws closer to the Sun. While most comets gradually brighten and turn reddish near perihelion, 3I Atlas instead surged to 180 times brighter than it was when twice that distance from the Sun, and astonishingly became greener than the Sun itself, emitting a higher proportion of short wavelength light far beyond what solar illumination alone can explain. This is a complete inversion of natural cometary behavior. It was confirmed through spectroscopic evidence obtained by the Solar Terrestrial Relations Observatory, the Solar and Heliospheric Observatory, and the Geostationary Operational Environmental Satellite 19. Though plasma or metallic reflection models are possible, it remains one of the rare pieces of evidence suggesting that 3I Atlas may possess artificial characteristics or operate through a non-natural energy mechanism, an enigma that continues to puzzle astronomers worldwide. The 10th and most recent anomaly of 3I Atlas centers on a striking physical inconsistency. The object's measurable non-gravitational acceleration did not correspond with any observable loss of mass near perihelion. As Professor Avi Loeb and his collaborators reported, the detected acceleration would require substantial outgassing, roughly 13% of the object's total mass. Yet telescopic observations revealed no accompanying jet plume or dust release. Its surface remained unusually stable, lacking the visual or thermal signatures that would indicate active sublimation. This leaves scientists with an unresolved paradox, a clear force acting on Atlas without an identifiable cause. Such behavior implies the possibility of a controlled or internal propulsion process distinct from all known cometary physics. Researchers are now closely monitoring its path as it approaches Earth between November and December 2025. Should the object continue to accelerate while showing no trace of outgassing, it would constitute one of the most compelling and unprecedented pieces of evidence for an unknown energy mechanism operating beyond current scientific explanation. Even one anomaly would make an object strange, yet 3i Atlas shows 10, with more possibly to come as it's only halfway through its journey. The hope for an extraterrestrial sign still burns bright among UFO believers. What about you?